I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Dragons of Starfall. Tonight, we are rejoining the party as we catch up with Lady Angelica and her trip to Waterran, her diplomatic, deceptive spy mission. I'm not quite sure what exactly to call it. It's a mixed bag of diplomacy and deception and intrigue, and we'll have to find out exactly where she ends up taking all of this. But we will also be touching base with Logan and Riggs and their attempts to get everything together for the incoming um, freedom fighters who had fled to the far reaches of the border kingdoms away from Maxius's reach, which is pretty considerable. And so instead of um, catching up with the whole rest of the party, who unfortunately cannot be here this week, we're going to just focus on their individual efforts. And so we're going to take this kind of in Act 1 and Act 2 form here. So if you guys have a preferred um, way of doing it, I'll definitely hear you out. But I was going to do Lady Angelica first, get through what happens with her whole mission, and then kind of catch back up with Riggs and Logan in real time there, as Lady Angelica is kind of frozen back in time right now from when she left. But since whichever one of you is not going first, you can take a break, go do whatever if you want.
Yeah, that works for me if you want to start. He's been off for 2 weeks, so I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, but it was his own fault. He thinks
Yeah,
he gets
no.
to just go to Alaska and have a wonderful time and form memories that'll last forever, and just skip out on the game, and it's not going to have consequences. Screw that. Yeah. So,
How, how, how dare I spend quality time with my son?
yeah. So but if you guys want to take a break and everything, or if you have headsets and you can just listen in and walk about and do whatever, obviously I won't be offended. Just check back in I'd say 60 to 90 minutes, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I'm fine either way. Whoever you want to do first, if you guys, Logan and Riggs, if you guys want to go first, I'm cool to listen and get caught up. And that way you guys don't have to stay up all night either if you don't want to.
Oh, go ahead. It makes sense for you to go first, I think.
I
All right.
am open minded.
All right. Well, no, we have an agreement. So, Lady Angelica, I'm gonna catch you back up on exactly what was discussed, because it did kind of morph a little bit after you, the player, had left. But of course, your character would not have left without knowing exactly what she was supposed to carry to whoever she was supposed to carry whatever to. So you're not gonna just run off half cocked and figure it out on the way, because this isn't a day and age where you have emails and smartphones and all of that. So um, basically, while in Langenberg, you guys had discussed with King Chadwick, uh, which is a very kingly sounding name, the terms that he wished to lay out to Maxius. And basically, he has gotten word of his attempts to assassinate him. He has barely survived 2 assassination attempts so far, and wishes not to subject his kingdom to a bloody, hostile takeover from Binhemia. He knows that Langenberg is very independent and will fight to the last man if, you know, he were to be assassinated. And rather than see his men be slaughtered after he himself was assassinated, he will surrender his crown to Maxius, and therefore Langenberg will be rightfully his, and there won't have to be bloodshed. In reality, he plans to challenge Maxius to one-on-one combat for the lives of all of the men, sort of like the uh, opening scene in Troy, with Achilles and all of that, where uh, one man versus one man, and whoever wins, the armies get to go home. And Maxius, despite who he, is, uh, he is a warrior, kind of. I mean, think of him like Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator, to where he's spent his whole life battling people who wouldn't dare cut him with a sword. That would not end well for them. And so he is a good warrior. There's no question about that. But like, he's never really been like truly tested, though he has led many battles. But you know how it is. Like, you lead the battle from behind by like observing and giving commands a lot. It's a rare commander who leads from the front, and they probably aren't micromanaging the battle like they need to be, which is why Maxius wins. He's smart. So that's the general plan. General plan, and um, then the party also intends to get the Freedom Fighters, Big John and the Freedom Fighters, to fill the sewers of Langenberg and pop out and you know slaughter Maxius and all of his men if they get out of line or whatever, or just because. Just probably they're going to kill him anyway. I don't know. Who knows? But that's the overall gist of what Angelica would know going into all of this.
Okay. So the idea being that I'm supposed to go to Wateran and tell Maxius that the king Longpike wants to surrender his crown, or is looking to lay down his crown and surrender.
Yes. He does not want to be assassinated because even if you assassinate him, his men will fight him like to the last, and Langenberg has, stood this long for a reason, and he has no doubt that Maxius and Benhemia would win in the long term, but does not wish to see his people starve from a 5-year siege and have to go through that uh, when he can be the bigger man and show him what true nobility is by laying down his crown and sacrificing himself for the good of his people.
Okay, got it.
And like if Maxius refuses, the combat or wins the combat, like, it kind of is the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Although the party has the plan of like everybody attacking, and like King Longpike is on the fence about that. He has a lot of honor, but like he also really hates Maxius, so
As well he should.
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody around here like respected Maxius at first because he was battling the forces of the wilds, and so when beastmen and savages are attacking and raiding, uh, and a guy comes in with an army out of nowhere and just starts kicking all the butt, that's a cause for celebration. But when Julius Caesar, uh, becomes, you know, emperor and dictator for life, that's when it becomes a problem and it's time to get out the knives.
When Maxius crosses the Rubicon.
Yeah, yeah. When he crosses the Rubicon, it's over. So, Caesar is in Italy, and that's basically where everybody's at with Maxius is like, okay, you were really cool, and we all like supported and celebrated you, but now like it's time to get stabby.
Understood, I got it. I am on board with the plan.
Okay. Is there anything Lady Angelica would like need to do, prepare, minds that need to be read, or anything like that before she goes on her mission to Wateran?
I suppose she would sort of like when this conversation was happening. I assume all the more important people were there. I remember the interaction you guys had with the banker and all that. I guess I'd be keeping out for anyone who appeared to be disloyal or might be a spy for Maxius. But other than that, I think I'd be ready to head out.
Yeah, and so I can assure you that using your base level, powers to not get detected, that the general feeling, was support for Long Pike and his regime, and Langenbergians tend to be, pretty patriotic, and so with his uncle, the Duke, and his head of his military Leepe, as the two main advisors and all of that there, as well as a supportive group of nobility and whatnot. Um, there was no spies or anything like that, is what I'm getting at.
Okay, so then I'd be ready to head back on the road. I don't think I'd be taking the boat. I'd want to leave that there for them in case something went wrong.
Right. No, and in fact, in order to make this all like super legit,
Yeah.
he Long Pike is sending you in his personal carriage with uh, six of his knights to accompany you, along with a scribe herald kind of, like
Oh,
a,
right.
like just a, I mean, it's kind of like a lawyer and like a generic ambassador and all of that. Like, it's not the official ambassador to Langenberg or anything like that, but it's like they kind of fill that role of, they go along with whoever is appointed by the king and kind of like give them legitimacy.
Understood. An official herald.
Yeah, yeah, like a page herald scribe combo dude. Also makes julienne fries. So you guys, you got a road to travel, and you camp and you do all of that, but you're traveling fat. You got knights guarding you. You got pages and squires making food for everybody. So, like everybody's having just a great time. There's merry and mirth as you guys travel along the old King's Road from Langenberg to Waterran. And if there are any ne'er do wells and bandits about, uh, they dare not approach such a well armed, uh, well guarded contingent that bears the king of Langenberg's personal seals and symbols. I mean, it's one thing to fantasize about, Robin Hood style robbery of royal stagecoaches and all of that, but in reality, the penalty is so much death, like all the death, and before that, probably most of the torture.
Yeah, not fun.
Right. So, people see the royal seal, they see the knights, and whatever plans they might have had for nefariousness fade away, and you guys end up having what amounts to be an extremely pleasant trip from Langenberg to Waterran. And as the third day begins, you arrive. Wait, is it 3 days?
Was it?
I might be a little bit off on my times with a horse. Um,
I would say I wouldn't be hurrying anyways. I want to give the rest of the group plenty of time to get things set up on their end, so I'm not rushing.
right. No, no, you're Carpathian, not Russian. But regardless, I can get the exact days, but either way, you get from Langenberg to Waterran with no incidents that would, require a initiative roll or anything like that there's encounters with NPCs, of course. Some old man with a cart full of turnips, just selling them right at the crossroads, and uh, various travelers coming and going, and of course, when camped for the night, occasionally a late traveler would pass by, and the knights would chase them off because, of course, they're not going to let a stranger near the campsite at night. So at the end of the day, whatever else ends up happening, whatever interactions happen, uh, it your main focus is not on these knights or the peasants that you meet along the way, but rather on getting to Maxius and perhaps Cromwell. And that is what happens on the morning of the X day, insert number of days here.
Fair enough.
And so you see the gates of Wateran, and you smell the familiar fishy smells, and you are once again, you know, feeling the feelings of whatever you associate with being here and having uh, dealt with Cromwell and the mission with or not the mission, but the uh, thing with the vault, and having turned into your form, and then the slod being summoned, and just all of that. Like there's a whole lot to unpack sometimes when it comes to you know everything that has happened to you here and connected with that. So uh, or what is she feeling?
I would say she's fairly focused on uh, Maxius and her family and what he had done to the family in the past and the damage it had done to her father. That is her primary focus. And secondarily, she has also got thoughts about the far realm creatures and what to do. And obviously, she's been thinking about the codex quite a bit as well, but no clear solution on that.
Yeah, well, right. That's unfortunately something that you need more info on, and perhaps, you know, uh, there will be some. So, as you are, you know, coming in to the Ivy Court, where the wealthy uh, people have built houses out from the spread of the inner density of Wateran. Um, there's like big gardens and palatial style mansions and everything here in the Ivy Court. And as you pass through and head deeper in towards the East Road and the old district where Cromwell lives. Um, Wait, is that where you're headed? Is to Cromwell's?
Um, I suppose what I would do is send a messenger to Cromwell to let him know that I've returned and that I've headed to the castle to speak with Maxius right away, but he should be there in attendance.
Okay. Yes. And so you head still up the East Road, but now you cut down into the castle. And as you approach the castle, um, at first you see all of the guards like bristle as you're accompanied by these knights, and they're all wearing Langenbergian cloaks and yada yada. And so at first the knights like really bristle, but when they see you and Sir Thomas, you roll uh mm, let let's say uh well, let's just see how you react and then we'll determine it. The guards tell you to halt.
Uh, well, of course, halt, and Sir Thomas will say, we've been sent on a diplomatic mission by Lord Maxius. We've returned from our diplomatic mission with important news for Lord Maxius. Or is he king now?
No, he's still Lord.
Lord, the diplomatic. We've returned with important. We've returned from a diplomatic mission. Lady Angelica's returned from a diplomatic mission with important news for Lord Maxius. We must speak to him immediately.
And then so now roll your persuasion.
Hey, I have a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did we tell Cromwell that we were going to go to Langenberg
Yeah,
when we
would
got
have
info
told,
from him?
yeah, we would have told him that we
Okay,
left.
so we basically told him we'll go fix this, and then we did, right?
As far as he knows, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he knows we would have told him that Maxius has sent us there on a mission and when we left, Cromwell was sort of thinks he's going to be made governor of Langenberg in Maxius' stead, so he would know that we're like going to prepare the ground for him in Langenberg.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, the guards, they huffle and puffle, but eventually they let you slither in, and you make your way through the courts up to the main hall where Maxius is hosting yet another ball with all of the arriving lords who have come to, kiss his ring and declare him king.
So we will join the. I'll assume that Lady Angelica would be smart enough to sort of dress for court and not show up road weary. But she would send Sir Thomas to sort of say, we've returned from Langenberg to tell tell Lord Maxius's head porter or contact person that we've returned. We'd like the pleasure of speaking to him as soon as possible. We come with exciting news from Langenberg.
It is the next day when you are summoned to speak to Maxius. The ball lasts all night, and he schmoozes and takes his brown nosing from the lords. Then he retires without acknowledging you. Finally, the next morning after breakfast, you are summoned to a antechamber where he is being fitted for yet another new suit in a new style for another ball to be held in 2 days' time.
Okay, so Sir Thomas will step forward and say, Lord Maxius, Lady Angelica and I have returned with news from uh, Langenberg about the state of the king. When we arrived, just days before the day we arrived, there was an attempt on his life. There was a nearly successful attempt on his life that seems to have shook his confidence. The king was in disarray almost. We were able to make our way in and meet with him. And when we spoke to him that we had come from Waterran, he had asked about whether or not we knew you. We said that we didn't, and he said that that was glorious luck from the gods. he has come to the conclusion that his life is near an end, that there are too many attempts against him, and if he were to die by an assassin's blade, all of Langdenberg would die trying to avenge him, and he doesn't want to see his people suffer.
I see. Well, this is troubling. I wonder, who does he blame for these attempts?
His mind races with plots and people and shadows in the dark. He blames the kings in oh my god, I can't ever remember the name of my own home country. Carpathia. He looks towards New Eglia. He looks towards the dwarves in the mountains. Each way he sees enemies. He feels surrounded by traitors and monsters. Lady Angelica says his mind is a flood with shadows. It is. We have brought with us a official recorder and page from Langdenberg with documents that the king is willing to present, turning the kingdom over to you to save his people.
Turning his kingdom over to me.
Yes, it is his belief that that if he dies and you show up to rightfully claim the throne, the city will never accept it. They will die trying to defend themselves or keep the throne in the hands of a Langdenberg person or his uncle or another, whereas you are clearly the true heir by law. But if he does it before he dies, he can guarantee a peaceful transition of power.
Hmm. Long Pike has always been a sensible minded fellow who cares about his people. Perhaps what you say is true. I assume you have some sort of agreement or written promissory of intent from Long Pike upon you. Then,
Uh,
yeah, you do.
travel, yeah, with traveling with us is a member of Long Pike's court who carries the official documents signed by Long Pike for you to review.
And so the rest of this is all episode one, trade route blockades and negotiations, and it's all like lawyers and prattle and bureaucracy and uh, basically uh, at the end of it, you're like dismissed. And Cromwell says that although he has been spending quite a bit of time at court, um, that he intends to go home and spend the week, you know, getting his affairs in order, and invites Lady Angelica, back.
Uh, Lady Angelica, Sir Thomas will say, Lady Angelica would be happy to return to a familiar home and a comfortable place to rest.
All right. And so you guys, go back to Cromwell's, and it's, the typical, hanging out at a super rich dude's house where, you eat good food and you have, stuff going on, but mostly he's just, spending his days putting his house in order and overseeing some of the, minutia of being rich and staying rich and all of that. And then, a couple nights in, he tells you that he is going to a special club that he, belongs to, and wonders if you'd wish to join him.
Lady Angelica would be delighted to attend. what is the appropriate dress?
So it's like formal, but not like ball royal formal. Like you can just wear like your good clothes, but you don't have to wear like your black tie.
I forgot real quick. I think we forgot to include the. I have the crown with me and on like tuck. How I imagined wearing it if I do have it. I don't know if that got changed or not.
There's no way you can be wearing it. I mean, you can, but like,
It'll stick out too much.
yeah.
My thought was to cover it with like a lace.
Oh no, no. This is a
It's too big.
This is a dwarven crown. Yeah.
Okay, too big. All right, fair enough. Then I will just be myself, and I will step into another room and change my appearance to match whatever I need to look like for him.
Yep. And so, you guys go head out, and he takes you to this really fancy building. Uh, Members only, like kind of vibe and all of that. And so as you approach, um, you can see that there is a woman behind the desk. And 1 second, let me get you. Okay, and I'm gonna put Logan on the map just so that he can see too, but obviously you're not here. All right, and so um, Lady Angelica, in front of you is the door, which is opened by a doorman, and sitting at the desk in front of you is a well dressed woman who says, "Well, Master Cromwell, welcome back. We've longed to see you again."
Real quick, I see my token, but nothing else.
You can't see anything else?
I just see my token.
Huh. That's not what my thing says. My thing says you can see all of this. You can't see none of that?
Here, let me try real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yep.
I can see now. I see the desk and the chair and the hallway and all that.
Yes. So a woman in fine clothing welcomes Master Cromwell in and uh, hands him a book and pen to sign, and he signs, Cromwell, and then +1, and drops a few coins into her hand and thanks her, and then invites you to follow him in. And he walks down the hall, so you can just come on down the hall. Yeah. And then over to the left, um, he opens the door. Uh, yep. And you walk in, and there's shelves and shelves of books. I mean, just so many books. And he kind of walks you over to this little sitting area here down by the black rug, and sits down, and you guys uh, are just sitting, and he eventually uh, says, "Well, isn't this just magnificent?"
Lady Angelica will nod and smile.
He says, "Soon we will gather for the feast, and then we will uh, read from some of these books. It's going to be magnificent." And then he like sits and blah blah blah, and then eventually you guys get up and you go off over to the left where there's another uh, area just past those bookshelves, and then into that door down, just straight down. There you go. And then so everybody sits around the table, and a group of servants, all wearing masks that hide their faces, um, come in and simultaneously set all of your food down at once, and everybody like is served this amazing 7 course dinner that starts with an amuse bouche and ends with after dinner palate cleansing like coffees, and just like all kinds of stuff, and it's this whole like big ordeal.
Fancy. I assume Sir Thomas is not there. It's just Lady Angelica, correct?
Yeah, no, Sir Thomas isn't invited.
Okay.
And so, but Sir Cromwell, like, kind of, Lord Cromwell kind of like explains how, you don't speak and all of that. So, like, nobody's like looking at you weird when you're not responding, because he's there to, help you and everything. But do you eat everything?
I'll sort of check the waiters and all that to see if there's anything on about them, as like if there's anything out of the ordinary, or if they're at all threatening. But otherwise, yes, I'll eat.
They're not threatening. They just seem to be like, this is some kind of weird, like, almost cult like behavior with like the way that they have the servants all like hidden like that, but like nobles are weird.
Yeah, I will eat, but I will take small bites. I won't like finish plates. It'll be you know bites here and there, enough to be involved, but not enough to overdo it.
Yep. And then do you drink the coffee at the end? It's really more of a espresso frappuccino kind of blended milk and coffee, but still.
Yeah, I'll take little sips.
All right. Roll a constitution save. All right. So as you take your little sips of everything, you can feel a drug beginning to take effect on you, and so you you know are glad that you did not consume everything completely, because although buzzed, you are nowhere near where you can now see everybody else is at, where everyone in this room is basically been zombified with some sort of mind altering drug.
Well, that's
Hmm.
unexpected.
Uh, are they in a good mood? I will play along that I am as gawked as they are, but I will not. I'm keeping an eye on everything, and I assume it'd be pretty easy to sort of poke in their brains now that they're stoned to sort of see if this is what they were expecting and all that.
Yeah, so this is kind of like being on like a ton of opium or heroin or whatever, where like you're really out of it, but like some people pay money for that. And so everybody's kind of led out the door, and as you guys go into this area here, you all sit around the table, and a guy comes over and starts reading from a scroll like parchment that basically talks about how the world is uh, it's been forsaken by the gods because the world has turned its back on the gods, and so now you guys have to like prove your loyalty to the gods and like save the gods, and then when you save the gods will like return and save the world in return.
Okay, I'll just play along with what everyone else is doing and keep an eye on things.
Yeah, they're mostly just drooling and then like occasionally like being like, yeah.
Uh, the guy, the guy who's reading, is he the leader or is he just one of the servants?
Yeah, so the guy who's reading is a dude who comes out in a long yellow robe, and he has a black mask on that hides his face like the servants. Um, but his hood isn't up or anything. He just has this long robe on, and then he's just reading from the book and telling you, not the book, the parchment, but like telling you guys how like if we want the world to be saved, we have to save the gods that we abandoned.
Okay, and everyone else is just sort of a drooling mess. There's nothing aggressive about him, though. He's just telling us sort of weird shit to do.
Yeah, he's just like, y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Man, I wish this character could talk right now.
Yeah.
uh, so Lady Angelica will sort of stumble towards him and tell him to hand signal to say more, like that she's interested in paying attention as best she can while trying to look very stoned.
Okay. Roll for deception. The man in the robe continues to read and motions to a servant who brings you another cup of coffee.
I'll take it and sort of sip it with my lips closed and then sort of stumble back to a chair away from him.
All right. Finally, you guys are led up to the bathroom where everybody uses the bathrooms, and then one by one is led down a stairwell that goes all the way down into the basement. And as you are led down the stairs into the basement, you see a chamber filled with strange statues of creatures that you have seen in your nightmares. They look like the mind flayers, but ancient and more powerful. As you enter this chamber, everybody's just kind of shuffling in like zombies.
So I'll follow in and uh, behind everybody else and sort of keep an eye on the main leader guy.
Yeah, so as you kind of shuffle in along with everybody else, they all stop in front of these uh, three statues, and each one of them they take out a small dagger. Everybody has a small dagger on them, and cut a tiny little prick into one finger in front of each of them, and put a drop of blood on the statue.
Lady Angelica is going to go last and not is going to go through the pantomime it, but not cut herself. I've got a feeling my blood would respond badly to this.
And then finally, they all stop in front of the big statue down there, right in front of the brazier. Uh, and as they do so, the light glinting off of the ancient monstrosity, like, forces you to have like a mental image of nightmares that you've had that you've forced Sir Thomas to have, and so you have to make a will save.
Wisdom save or
Yeah, wisdom save. Sorry.
my crappiest save? Eh.
Hey. So you don't like go catatonic or nothing, but still those nightmares like haunt you. And now you guys are led off to the left, and you walk to the left, and there's a door, and the door is opened, and you guys walk in, and as you guys walk in, there are three statues of these monstrosities dressed in robes not unlike the robes that the leader dude is wearing. And there's a huge centrifuge like arcane device in the middle of the room. And uh, they gather everybody around and they start performing this like profane ritual.
How many of their people are in the room with me?
Like six.
Oh shit! All right, so I'll keep my back to the the door then, I guess.
And so as the light, the centrifuge begins to churn, light begins to glow off of it. It's this eerie green, far realm like light. And stepping out from the portal is a mind flayer that selects one of the people gathered around that are drugged and basically forms a clone copy of them, and then the person is like blasted with psychic force and put into a catatonic state, and um, it's what happened to Cromwell.
So just one of the other nobles is.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, I'll stand there like an idiot and watch.
And then eventually everybody's led up to an area where like they slowly start to sober up, and then they all go home.
Uh, so when we get back to Cromwell's house, I'll have Sir Thomas tell us more about that club. How long have you been going there? Is Maxius a member? Are the other nobles and lords members besides the group we met tonight?
Oh, he just goes home and passes out. He's just had like an entire Burning Man festival in one night.
All right, I'll wait till he wakes up in the morning to approach him about this.
Yeah. So at breakfast the next day, you're asking him all these questions, and basically he's very non-committal, but basically says that that club is very important and influential, and all the elite go there. This is like the skulls, the stonemasons. Like if you're a member of that club, you're a somebody.
But is Maxius a member as well? Does he attend?
No. Maxius is an outsider, so he's never like really belonged to Bohemian culture and all of that. So as a Carpathian, he didn't go to our elite Ivy League Bohemian schools and join our fraternities and learn our secret handshakes.
And how often do these parties happen?
Oh, like once every 3 months or so.
And how long was he in the? How long was he's been zonked out for 4 years?
Yeah, something like that. Did I say 4, 3, 4, something like
For
that?
4 years. So
Yeah.
theoretically, there's if he was the first, there'd be about 16 of these from this thing.
Yep.
Uh,
That's a pretty close number there, my friend.
okay. I feel like Lady Angelica would just be seething with rage about that he'd been dumb enough to do this.
It's like how you maintain power around here, though, is by being parts of like the cliques.
Yeah, no, but not knowing that he'd been drugged and like,
Oh, he knows he's been drugged. He loves it.
yeah, well, that he'd been replaced by a mind flayer and that this is how it had happened to him and he was a dum-dum for doing it.
Well, yeah, but that's like trying to, convince somebody that like, their life is a wreck because they do meth. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So I think Lady Angelica has come to the conclusion that Cromwell's gonna die too because he's an ass. But she's not gonna do anything right now. I think,
Well, wait. Why is he an ass?
because I don't know, because
I
think,
he's a dum dum. I agree with everything you said about that.
but so from her point of view, she sees these creatures for what they are. She didn't get she didn't get drugged. She was smart enough to walk right through that and see what everything was. And it's happened to him. He was stuck in a casket for this time, and he never put two and two together that's how he ended up in that fucking casket.
Well, again, like they're using the drugs and everything specifically to like mask this kind of stuff. Basically, he spent at least months, like being inundated with this drug and then was, replaced. So like he was basically slowly brainwashed and, you know, put into a state of
No, that's all fine. Again, I think from her point of view, she finds what he's doing reprehensible.
sure.
He's letting these creatures into the world. He's even seen how evil they are, and he's still like he couldn't figure it out. It makes him pathetic to her, and so she is holding on to her anger right now about the fact that this place exists and that whatever they've gotten rid of, these people have just walked them right back out of the hole. So that's not helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
His name's on the list now.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Um, so is it just her and Cromwell right now, and Sir Thomas?
Well, I mean, servants and whatnot,
And so Sir Thomas isn't under my direct control anymore, right? Like he is independent. I just talk through him as needed.
Right. That is a true thing.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what to do. I want to sort of break Cromwell's brain like an egg. And
That's halfway there already after everything that's happened and all the drugs and I mean, yeah.
so I'll start using like the psychic speech stuff, like because I assume when I speak with the psychic stuff, I don't sound like a monster. I just sound like a woman.
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah,
sound like, what your real voice would have been.
yeah, okay. So she's gonna whisper to him in sort of an indirect way of like, "You must be so lonely. It must be so hard to be alone all the time." Just like whispers in his ear.
Yeah. And he like is like, "What the hell was that?"
And obviously, Lady Angelica is not going to acknowledge anything, and Sir Thomas will say, "Are you all right, sir?"
Uh yes, fine.
The voice will whisper again that your family has no future without an heir.
It, is there somebody here?
I'm sorry, sir. What's the problem? I don't understand what's going on. Is this from the something last night, or
It's uh, it's nothing. Eat your breakfast and I'll see you later. And he walks off kind of perturbed.
and so yeah, like that gets him away from me. The voice will just sort of continually prod him throughout the day, every so
Mm-hmm.
often.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just sort of whispers about how pathetic and lonely his life really is, with no future.
Damn. All right. Well, you torment Cromwell for, you know, a time, and he definitely, by the end of the day, is looking a bit frazzled. And as you guys sit down for the evening meal, he confesses to you that he's hearing voices and wonders if you had heard the same.
Lady Angelica's heard no such voices. I am sorry for this. That must be terrible to experience. We have both been affected by the farm realm, and so she certainly knows what it's like to have something inside your head. It's a horrible thing. What sort of things does the voice say to you? Lady Angelica wonders what kind of things the voice say to you.
Just the usual, that I will be king of the world and, conquer all of my enemies.
Well, and that is upsetting to you?
It's upsetting to be hearing voices, and I wondered if you had experienced the same, but, you know, I, I, I best, I best be going.
Okay. As he leaves, as Lady Angelica will sit there and, when he leaves and goes to his room, he's going to hear a voice that says, You'll be the king of a bone pile, a lord of ash, and nothing more."
Yeah, and so your torment can continue if you want, or you can like let him sleep now. What do you do?
Well, I'll let him sleep. I'll let him have the sleep and then start again in the morning.
All right. So that goes on, you know, but eventually you have to ride back to Langenberg uh, with with Maxius's response.
Yeah, so I'll head back to the castle. I'll invite Cromwell to attend with me. Obviously, he'd want to hear what's going on, I assume, and so
Mm-hmm.
we'll head back to the castle together to speak to Maxius.
Yep. And so, with Cromwell at your side, you guys get right in this time, and Maxius makes time to see you within, hours rather than, making you wait the entire day. And so he tells you, to hurry because the ball begins, um, in just a few more hours, which in reality is like 7. But he tells you to hurry and be quick about it, and he shows you, you know, his own royal decree of accepting Langenberg's offer and pledging, various, you know, nobility pledges, etc., that are required in order to, make all of this legit and legal and everything. And so uh, he has this written on a very thin sheet of silver, and then it is pressed, and all of the pressed in pieces are then filled in with gold. And he presents this metal scroll to you to bring to the King Longpike.
Uh, Lady Angelica, again, assume Sir Thomas is there. Lady Angelica wonders if you won't ride there to present it yourself, Lord Maxius.
Oh, I intend to after my coronation.
And you'd have us ride in advance, or would you prefer that we wait for you and travel with you?
Oh yeah, no, you can go. You're not part of Bohemia. You don't need to legitimize my crown, so you can GTFO.
Okay. I will tell him that I will make plans to leave in the morning and return with the Langdenberg group back to the city.
Very well. And so that is more or less what happens with everything, with one uh, major exception. You and Sir Thomas go with Cromwell or not. But either way, you make sure that you go back to that club on an off night and peruse some of the books until you find one that seems to be exactly what you're looking for when it comes to uh, what exactly is going on. It is a longer version of the parchment that was being read from about the gods, but it has some ancient languages that seem to perhaps match up with some of the symbols from your codex.
So I can read that since it's deep speech or far realm.
Yeah, or your
Okay.
cryptex, not codex,
Yeah.
cryptex.
Okay. And just that one book, or is there anything else worth poking around in here?
No, it's you spend a lot of time looking just to find that one.
Okay. I'll take it and head back to Lord Cromwell's.
Yep.
And I'm going to torture the shit out of him that night.
So yeah, he doesn't get any sleep that night, and with that, you draw to a close for your business here in Waterran, as eventually you head back out in the royal coach to return to Langenberg and the rest of your friends, which is exactly who we will be catching up on. Is Riggs still here, just not logged
I
in?
just I just came back.
Oh, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna take a real quick bio break, and then we will get on with Act 2. All right, and I am back. So, now we jump to an indetermined period in time. This could be before you guys, got back, or after you had left and returned. Like, we're not really sure when this is, but you guys are back at Castle Arn.
Okay, so everything went well with the rebels then.
Well, yeah, maybe. We're, like I said, this could have been taking place before that, so we don't know, what's exactly happened with them. Kind of indeterminate, but either way, you guys are, at Castle Arn doing what you can, trying to tidy and spruce and secure and, strategize, safety eyes, you know, install some railings, all of that kind of good stuff.
Do you want to check out this barn where all the locals go?
Yeah, let's check it out. See who we meet.
Because we never actually went in. We just knew that that's where they drank.
Yeah. If you guys want to go to the barn, eventually you'll be drinking and checking out the locals who will talk to you, and they tell you all about how life out here is pretty rough. They haven't had a lord in a bit, and um, everything's just been kind of survival of the fittest, and so that's why, even though they knew Ronnie and Elizabeth were up in there, like, none of them wanted to help because they didn't want to get sick too.
Sorry, I just blanked for a second.
The two girls who were sick in Castle Arn.
Oh, like people knew they were hiding there, but they just didn't want to go near them.
Yeah, because their parents had gotten sick and died, and then they were sick, and they were like, "Psh, whatever, just leave them die in there."
So how safe is it around here? You guys in any danger? How's the wilderness?
I don't know. You ever walk around out there? I mean, yeah, like every so often we'll find some kind of crazy monster in our cabbage patches, or a wyvern will fly overhead and snatch one of our cows.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous actually in most places in this world.
Yeah, and like, that's if you don't count in all the dangers from, like, adventurers and, evil parties, and, like, some necromancer moves in and all of a sudden you got skeletons taking over the town, like, psh. We got lucky that we had an abandoned tower, and the worst thing that moved in was a couple of sick girls.
Yeah, I guess it could have been worse.
We had a bet that it was going to end up being like some troll or something.
Oh, I hate those things.
Trolls. I hate trolls.
I hate anything that can heal itself, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Trolls are the worst because, like, we're just, peasant farmers, and so when we have to take something on, like, we usually lose like 3 to 5 of them before we can deal enough damage to have, like, killed it.
Where are these trolls again?
Oh no, we don't have like a massive troll problem here or nothing. I'm just saying that like, the wilderness is pretty dangerous even out here in pretty, open flatland country. You still get like wyverns flying in and snatching your sheep, and we had an empty tower, and so who's to say what could have moved in there? Some evil wizard trying to like open a portal to hell or something.
So I totally forgot. What happened to the previous owner of the keep?
I don't remember if we actually got an answer or a clear one.
Yeah, do these people know? Like, what happened to the people that used to live in there?
That keep was run by you know a knight who was not um, very good at his job.
Oh, right. Was he stripped of his title? I seem to recall something like that. He was
You
stripped
could
of it, or
you could say that. You could also say that we ran him out of here like the coward that he was for failing to defend the town.
So he didn't defend the town when he needed to.
We were set upon by a rather nasty group of insect monsters known as ankegs who were attacking people who tried to, get them to stop eating their crops. And instead of sending out his warriors and himself, he sent out axes and swords and closed his gates. But then he had just given the mob axes and swords.
How long ago was
those are
this?
like beetles or something.
They are like beetles, and by forcing them to take care of the ankegs themselves with the axes and swords, they, knew they knew how to use them and didn't need him.
Sucks to be that guy.
So
So everything's.
anyway, what are you guys doing here?
I just want to make sure this place is safe. Make sure there's nothing lurking out there before we move in.
Aha. And what are your intentions?
What do you mean, after we move in or right now?
Yeah, like, you want to move in, so what do you want to do here?
I'm gonna look to Riggs. I don't know. I can't think of any good answer to that.
Um, what do
I
we
mean,
want to
we
do?
we kill things, so I guess we just need a place to rest when we're not killing things.
Oh, you want to come here and kill things?
No, this is where we rest after we kill things. We kill things out there and then just point out into the night.
Hmm. So you're gonna basically be what, like exterminators?
I don't know. I guess that sounds right. That's pretty much what we've been doing.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, in a particular list of people that we use those skills to find and deal with.
Huh.
It's just like farming.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's possible that you could come in handy if we were attacked by you know something.
With this many people, do you guys have like a small militia? Or you got a town
Well, we we
appointed sheriff?
we got a couple of guys who kind of take the lead when something is attacked.
It's Lenny and Carl. I bet you it's Lenny and Carl.
Of course it is.
Lenny and Carl?
Well, it's a little longer than Lenny and Carl, but yeah. It's Gildan Lenny or Gildan Carl and something.
Lenny Stern.
Yeah, something. So yeah, anyway, you guys are at the barn and talking to them, and eventually it comes up that the town does have a problem with getting access to the clean drinking water due to the fact that the path has been overgrown and there's some nasty creatures lurking in the woods there.
And these are the creatures that were causing them trouble?
No, no, the different one. Yeah, Rosen, Carl, and Gildan Lenny.
So the Ankegs are long dead. This is some new problem that's cropped up.
Yes,
Some crap
correct.
hiding out in the bushes.
Yeah, well, basically, like, they can't clear the path and get to the clean drinking water, and so, like, boo hoo, we're peasants.
Could just boil the river water.
No, we can't get to the clean part of the river. We're having to, go down to the dangerous, wide, deep part of the river where there's like, giant crocodiles and stuff. What the hell, man? You want us to get eaten by giant crocodiles?
Yeah, true. Each time we've been on the water, there's been some big fish monster thing.
Yeah. So
I
we
think
got
they're just asking you to clear that pathway sub so it's easier to get to the safe part of the river.
Well, that's easy enough. We'll just get drunk and then we'll go to the well.
I'm always down for a drink. Let's do it.
So, yeah, so we'll keep those two guys. We'll try to find Lenny and Carl and get them to show us after we've drank them with them for a bit.
Well, Lenny and Carl, will point you in the right direction, but they're not going to come assist you or nothing.
No, they can go back to shoveling the horse shit. I'm sure that's easier.
It's their job, and it never ends.
Yes, once we have enough drinks, we'll just get them to point us in the right direction.
All right, so you guys eventually, make it uh, down to where they're talking about, but if you've had enough drinks, then it will be sunset by the time you guys arrive. And you can see, indeed, this is a very, very shallow, narrow part of the river where the water runs fast and clear and clean. There's a little makeshift bridge off to the left that, passes over the rapidly moving water. And then there's also a ford where you can just kind of walk right across there. Um, but you see exactly what they're talking about. You had to walk all the way around for hours to get an approach from the south here, whereas like just past that path is the barn. I mean, not like just there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
All right. I don't know if you have any survival skills or tracking skills. You want to take a look around?
Yeah, let's take a look around, see what's going on.
yeah. So go
I'll look
ahead
for
and
I'll look for prints, like footprints. I know there'll be a lot for the townspeople, but non-town people feet.
well, do you want to have it to where you um, help, like one of you assists, or how do you want to do that?
I don't know. No, I'll take this side. You check that side.
That works. I'll go left.
Oh, you take the low road and I'll take the high road.
Like we're not trying to be stealthy. We're basically beating the snakes out of the bushes. See what's up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. It's whacking day. So, go ahead and roll your survival.
Oh no, that's the stealth. That's the wrong one. I grabbed the wrong
Oh,
dice.
so you lied. You are trying to be stealthy.
Here we go. Oh, there we go.
All right. So, Riggs, you're over by the makeshift bridge there, and you don't really see too much. There's not much to see. Um, but uh, as you are looking around, Logan, you find you find the obvious telltale signs, the scat of a large predatory animal, and indeed you can tell that this is its favored hunting grounds.
Oh yeah, so there's something big and mean around here, Riggs. I don't know what it is, but
Well, you can roll nature. You rolled survival to find it, so now you can.
Okay, let's see. Nature's
Both
here
of us,
somewhere. Oof.
or did you yell to me?
I will help you with this one because I'm not too good with this. But now that I showed you the tracks, I'll see if you can take it from here. Maybe you'll get a good roll. So I'll assist you with the identification.
On nature? Okay.
Nature, correct.
So yeah, you'll have advantage.
Okay. So
Oh wait, I got to roll first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm
For advantage, yeah.
surprised that you're just giving him advantage right off the
Oh,
bat.
and I failed.
Yeah, so you're a liar.
Okay, you
so
can
I
still
can
do it.
I just roll nature. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, did I click advantage by accident?
You
Oh
did.
no.
What should we do?
Well, there's only two fair things to do. One is to just take the one that you dropped, and the other is to have you just re-roll. And I tend to fall into the latter camp because it won't show me which one you rolled first.
So just re-roll.
Yes. You
Oh, jeez.
have no idea what it is.
Well, both of our rolls sucked.
I guess maybe we can just hang out, keep an eye out, since we're not sure what we're looking for.
We can investigate further, right?
What do you mean?
And keep looking around, right?
Well, I mean, you can look around, but I mean, you've found the scat, but you can't identify it. So, I mean, you look around, you find more, you know, signs and stuff like that, but nothing that becomes any more identifiable.
Yeah, maybe we'll just hang out here for a bit, see if something comes by nightfall. Because it's only evening right now. We'll wait till it gets dark.
You want to set up camp?
Yeah, we'll just hang out over here by the bridge where you were checking.
Okay.
I mean, for the first time, I want something to find us, right? Because if we can draw it out, then we can get rid of it.
Sure. The closer we are to harm, the further we are from danger. All right, so as you guys are, looking around and doing everything, it becomes obvious why you're not like finding all of the, you know, evidence and whatnot that you need. It is because the creature in question does not live and stay here. The creature in question uses this as its preferred hunting grounds. You hear its wings flapping. As it flies overhead, it spots you and decides that one of you is going to be its meal tonight. A,
Oh shit! I wasn't expecting a flying creature.
a
Now I'm
giant
gonna panic.
a giant wyvern is about 60 feet in the air over there, and uh, you guys need to roll for initiative.
Well, good. I'm glad you got a good roll because that mine's crap.
Riggs, it is your turn as you leap into action against the flying draconic monstrosity.
Do
So
you?
is he in the air?
Yes, 60 feet.
I'm wondering if I can I hit him with a ranged attack?
Which one?
Let me see. Hold on. Crossbow?
Yes. Well, you can target him. We'll find out if you can hit him.
To target him. Can I target him through? Okay, I gotcha. So I will aim my crossbow and I'll roll for a hit. And I missed.
You you can't see right now?
Nope, I can't.
Huh. What about now?
Yep, there I got it.
Okay. So you fire your crossbow at the wyvern. However, uh, it has thick scales, and your bolt just bounces right off.
Oh yeah. So I guess that'll be my turn. That's really all I can do, right?
Pretty much, yeah. The wyvern dives 80 feet towards Riggs and attacks him.
Oh man. Jeez.
And Logan.
So it came down, right? It's not off the ground?
It's right on top of Riggs, so it's like 5 feet up.
Okay. All right, I will attack it first. Oh, I didn't have it targeted. Hold on. Okay, hold on. It's not grabbing my dice here. Hold on. I think I'm lagging. I think that's the problem because I'm not selecting it. Did that roll attack twice for me? Is my screen like screwed up?
Yeah, something's screwed up. So, uh, you might want to uh, reload the map or something. I don't know.
Well, it let me target it, so that's done. Let's try this again. No, I just rolled the same thing 3 times. Okay. So let me do this. Damage. And the second attack. Okay, this is working good. So let me take off a Kai point here for flurry of blows. Where is it? Where's my point? Where's my point? Everything's all messed up. That's weird. Okay, sorry. Give me a sec to reopen my character because
No problem.
yeah, all my stuff was weird. All the spells are open and they're all like weird. It's strange. Okay, there it is. Flurry of blows. There we go. I feel like I'm taking so long. The first flurry of blows. That's going to be a miss. Second one. Okay, there we go. And I'll use Stunning Strike with that one. So let me click here. And where is it? Let's open that up. Let's put the save on the creature. Haha, good. Perfect. And then I'll roll that last damage for that last hit as well.
Don't forget to apply the effect.
Oh, yep, the effect. That was what I was forgetting. Where is it? There it is. I can't ask for a better turn than that, I guess. So let me just end that here. Uh,
Riggs.
Okay. I'm pissed off, so I'm about to become big.
oh,
I'll,
sorry. I can use my extra movement with the flurry of blows. Can I just step back 10 feet? Because that's the extra I get with it is 10 feet.
And you have that mobile or whatever to where you don't provoke?
Yeah, exactly. I have both
Yeah.
in this case.
Okay.
Sorry, Riggs. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just forgot to step back.
no problem. So I just cast Giant's Might, so I become big. And let's see. Is Action Surge a bonus action itself?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't use it this turn, so I'll just attack.
No, Action Surge is a fighter ability, right? I don't think it takes. Let me double check.
It doesn't say in the note. It says additional action. That's all it says.
Because you can take your 2 attacks with your action, and then you can Action Surge and take another action.
Yeah, you still get your bonus action.
Well, I had to cast Giant's Might as a bonus action.
No,
Oh,
that's
right.
what I'm saying is with action surge, you still get a bonus action, so it's a free action.
So I can attack twice, then Action Surge and attack again.
Yes.
Okay. So that's probably what I'll do. So I'll just start attacking. And I'll apply Divine Fury on this damage too. And I will attack again. And I will Action Surge so I can attack one more time, right?
Correct.
So do I just roll it or do I have to click the
No, you
thing?
don't. You don't have to click anything.
Sweet. Um, and I will. That will be my turn.
The wyvern is stunned and cannot act.
I'm like grabbing its tail back here, kicking it. All right, I'm going to do 2 range attacks from here.
Oh, it falls to the ground, but it just lands because it was only like 5 feet up. So
There we go.
Sweet.
And oh, I missed the second one. I can't quite see how much health it's got left. You know what? I'm going to stay here. I don't need to be. I don't need to be greedy. I don't need to necessarily need to kill.
Riggs.
And I will keep attacking. Why not? Ouch. And I will do second wind as a bonus action. Do I just click on the heal button?
Yes.
That was good.
He's stunned.
He was.
Oh, he's not stunned anymore.
No.
Okay, then I'll end my turn. I was gonna move away, but then he gets an opportunity attack, right?
Right. All right. Since he was forced to land on the ground, he no longer attacks with his claws and instead attacks you with his bite.
Oh, geez, another one.
Oh, I'm not targeting you. What the heck?
That's okay. We don't have to target me.
No, I think that's the first one hits, the second one misses. I think that's pretty good. You don't want him to re-roll. It'll just be a natural 20 or something. It's better to just
Yeah,
take
just
it.
take that 11 and move on with your life.
Take my beating.
And then the wyvern flies 80 feet into the air. Go ahead, take your attack of opportunity.
I will do it. I just get one.
Yep.
Swing through the fences.
And he flies 80 feet up into the air.
He's smart.
Okay, since I don't have any range weapons because I dumped them all last session, um, I dumped them all into the party pot of gear. So I don't technically have them in my inventory. But it's okay this round. Let me use a spell slot here. And just heal Riggs. There we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, I spit on my hands, rub them together, and then slap you on the back. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. What can I do with my bonus action? Bonus action. I can't. Can't
Throw a
really
rock
use it
at him.
effectively. Okay, I'll just move back a little bit. Try to make it go past you if it comes from me. Um, yeah, that's all I can do since I used to spell. So with the crossbow, if it has the reload feature, that means you have to use your bonus action to reload, but you can still take 2 attacks if you have 2 attacks.
Except for he already fired his crossbow and didn't reload it.
Oh, you have to reload it?
If it has the reload property as under the weapon, you can do it with a bonus action.
Well, I did not know that. It says ammunition range loading two-handed. So I can reload it as a bonus action, so I can do that first anyway, right?
I'm pretty sure that's how they work. The only way you can get away with that, with not doing that, is if you get a feat for a crossbow. Otherwise, you're reloading it with your bonus action.
Okay, I'll do that. And I will shoot my crossbow at him. I'm not a very good marksman, but I'll try.
80 feet is your limit
I'm
on your range, I believe, or it's just over. Let me double check your range on that.
it doesn't matter. I missed
It's
anyway.
right at the limit. Yep. So, your bolt flies into the air, but it like hits peak of arc and comes back down before it ever reaches the wyvern.
I'll turn to Logan. That's why they call me Deadeye. Oh, I can't do anything else.
The wyvern flies 160 feet, so it is now 240 feet in the air.
Oh, well. I don't really have anything to hit it with, so I will use my action to reload um, the magic shurikens just in case it comes within like 60 feet or whatever it is. I will do that and just wait to see if it's going to flee or if it'll come back.
And with that, it is fleeing, but Riggs, you have one more uh, action before it's completely out of range.
It's 240 feet.
Yep.
I can't hit it then, right?
You have disadvantage on your attack.
Okay, well, I'll take a stab at it. I reload my crossbow and I'll click disadvantage and roll. I,
Yeah, unfortunately, you miss again, and the wyvern is gone.
son of a.
Well, let's just stay the night here and see if it comes back.
I was looking forward to some wyvern wings tonight, but I guess not.
Yeah, hopefully we chase it off the hunting grounds, but we'll have to wait and see.
So we're gonna camp out or search around.
Yeah, but let's like go. How big is that bridge? I don't want to be exposed in the sky. Can we go under the bridge and camp? Like, can we just crash out under there?
What? Go
Like
go
the
walk up. Go walk up to it.
It's water, right?
no, there's gonna be a troll under the bridge now. I'm gonna have to look
Like
carefully.
look at that. What do you think you're gonna camp out under there? That's a
Oh, okay.
shallow
I
that's a
I
shallow
zoomed in
little.
closer. Yeah, there's like milk crates across the thing. It's not a bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe under the trees over here. I don't want to get snatched up while I'm sleeping.
Do we have a trap or anything?
No, it's one of those things we should get though. It's just a
Okay.
pain in the ass to carry around.
Okay. I'll come over and, I don't know how I'm gonna hide under the trees, but I will.
How long do you stay like this?
I think it's a minute.
Oh, okay, it's not
Yeah,
too
I
bad.
know. Yeah. Let me check. Could be
Yeah, we'll
wrong.
just take a long rest here and hopefully it doesn't come back.
Okay. How do we regen hit points out of combat?
By resting.
Okay.
Or hit die on a short rest.
Correct. Either way, by resting.
Yeah, we'll just keep one ear open and we'll try to get a long rest if we can through the night.
Does one of us want to do a watch? Rotate watch?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll it might if I regen while I'm sleeping, it might be better if you go first because I still have some health to heal up.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
sleeping in your scale mail armor?
Is there? Do I have to take it off?
You don't have to take it off, but if you don't, you will be rolling a constitution check to avoid exhaustion.
Uh, I'll roll the check. I mean, I don't want to not have the armor if he comes back, so I'll do a Constitution check. Just roll that.
Yep.
Is it a save? Is it under saves?
No, it's the check. It's just to the one on the left.
Okay. Oh,
Yep. So you have exhaustion 1.
what does that mean?
Mostly it means you have disadvantage on like ability checks. All right. So now, um, you guys have rested, but so has the wyvern, and he comes back in the cold, cold night. When you guys can't see shit.
yeah, that's true. Well, I no. Well, we'll figure it out.
Roll for initiative. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, it already applied disadvantage to you, Riggs. Never mind. Good.
Wow, I even got worse than before.
Riggs, despite being exhausted, you go first again. It's the
Sweet.
same order as before. We're just right back. It's different numbers, but like same.
So, how far away is he?
You don't know.
But we
He,
see
he
him.
no, he hasn't revealed himself yet. You can hear uh, the wings and Logan wakes you up.
Okay. I think we, I think we should hide like under the tree or something. Um, or at the very least, that it'll obstruct him from attacking us. What do you think,
Yeah,
Logan?
I'm fine with that until we can get a look at it.
So I will use my action to are there any like senses that I can do? Like um I don't know. Can I try to stealth as an action?
You can try to hide, yes.
Okay. I'll try to do that.
All right. You're not very sneaky.
Okay. Um, and okay, well that sucks. Uh, what else is I gonna do? Can I still like do a dodge? Is that a full
No,
action?
that's an
Okay.
action.
Okay, then that's my turn. I'm just gonna hide under the trees.
The wyvern dive bombs down towards you guys and attacks.
Hey, I'm gonna drop off. Good night, guys.
Good night.
See ya.
See you later, David.
Logan.
Okay, sorry, give me 1 sec here. I gotta make sure I target him again. Oh, that one. It didn't. Did it? It rolled it off the table. Okay. Okay, there we go. Nice, nice. And then I can drop the stunning strike on it. Uh, click here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. And then effect. Perfect. That went perfect. And the second attack. There we go. That did damage. Yep. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just wasn't 100%. I thought I was talking to myself for a bit. Okay, and then the flurry of blows. First one. Come on, I got a hit. There we go. Oh, nice. Lucky, finally. And the last one. I shouldn't say that until I'm done. There we go. Oh, there. Yeah, there's the one. Still, that was as good as I can do. So that will be my. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to step back under the tree a bit just in case. There you go. Just move back here. Yeah. There you go, Riggs. It's your turn.
I'm gonna get him this time. Okay, so I will giant smite. Is reckless attack a bonus action?
Yes.
Son of a.
You don't need it. You
Or
have advantage
I don't
right
know if it's
now.
a bonus action, but it's a free or bonus action.
Well, if I giant smite, can I reckless attack and still get 2 attacks?
You
Yes.
always get 2 attacks, but you don't need to have advantage. You already have it right now. I stunned it, so you can just whack
Oh,
away at it.
I didn't realize you.
Yeah, you don't need your
Okay.
reckless attack.
Do I
You're
have to
already.
click advantage for that, or will it
No,
automatically apply?
it'll
It's
automatically apply.
Okay.
yeah.
So, thank you.
It's the only thing I'm good for. I don't get a smite, okay? I just get a stun.
Sweet. I will attack again. Well, that blows.
Oh,
And I guess that's my turn. Well, is he still stunned?
Yes.
Um, You don't have range attacks, do you, Logan?
I do right now. I have 2. I
Okay.
have 2 ammo,
I'm gonna
so I
make
can attack
him.
from here.
I'm gonna move over here. If he's stunned, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity, right?
Right.
Okay, so
But
I'll
you
move.
but you can't move that far because you're moving through rough terrain.
Can I move there?
No. Yeah, you can move like 15 feet, like there.
Okay, I'll move. I want him to make a choice, me or you.
Works for
And
me. Okay, last time it escaped. So I'm going to rush in there this time and see if I can finish it. I do not want it coming back and getting more people or getting us again. Getting lucky. Come on, dice.
take him out, Logan.
Oh, it didn't. Twice now, it showed me a 20 and then it disappeared because it wasn't on the table. Okay, I still hit it. There we go. A second attack. I'm just stabbing it with this rapier. Oh, no, I missed. Wait, I should have had advantage. It's still stunned.
Why would it still be stunned?
Oh, it's at the end of my next turn. It should be wait at the end of this turn. I think it took it off before my turn ended, but that's fine. I missed that one. So let's do another. No, not the stunning strike. Sorry, another flurry of blows because I want to kill it.
It says, or be stunned until the end of your next turn. So why is it taking it off early?
Yeah,
Let me fix that. I thought it was until the end of its next turn. That's
it's okay. I can
usually
just put
how a lot of
advantage
that
on.
stuff works, but
Well, I can do advantage and just roll it with advantage for now.
hmm. Yeah, it's one round, blah blah blah.
Okay, there we go. Yes. Oh, it's still not dead.
Well, don't re-roll any of the rolls with advantage though, because that's not how that works. Then you're getting 3 dice.
Oh yeah, no, no. I rolled the first attack
Stop cheating. Come on.
and then the second attack for the second punch.
No, I know. I'm just making sure that you know not to re-roll any of them with advantage.
Oh, there we go. And yeah, that was the last punch, and I don't think it's enough to kill it. Oh, I had the 6. Oh no.
The wyvern is critically wounded as you strike it again and again, but it's still
Poking and
alive.
punching. Ah, shit. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it here then by not moving back. Let's try not to get poisoned and die.
You will die. Do I have a? I don't have advantage, so I can reckless attack now.
Yes.
Now is the time to rage with the reckless.
Well, I can't rage because I think you need no armor to rage, correct?
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, that's fine actually. But I can reckless attack. So
Correct.
I will do that. And
That's why you got the big weapon. You could do it.
mhm.
Oh, look at that. He's got a little teeny tiny bit of life.
You knock the wyvern to the ground, unconscious and dying.
No crossbows this time. Well, I guess that's. Can I do a coup de grace as a?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
Except as the wyvern is lying on the ground, it suddenly springs back up.
It's a zombie.
It disengages and flies 80 feet into the air.
I think it's just a nervous reaction from the like a chicken with its head cut off.
It has Die Hard.
Shoot
Oh,
it,
nice.
man. Shoot it, Logan. I can't hit it.
It's 80 feet in the air.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I don't. Hold on. What is the range of a dagger? 20 feet or 60 feet? You said it's 80 feet, so I can't get it.
Yep.
I mean, I could climb a tree and then give myself like 40 feet up. Or, okay, no. I could move half my movement up a tree. That'd be like 25 feet. But it's not really close enough. Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm just going to take the dodge action for now in case it comes back down at me. Let me just find that here. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I can't reach it.
So, can I theoretically reach it with a crossbow?
Yes.
I will try to shoot it with my crossbow then. Yeah. If I reckless attack, is that only melee, or is that?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think, but let me just see, because when you make your first attack, you can decide to attack on melee weapon. Yep.
Son of a. That's why they call me Deadeye.
Because you're dead in one eye and can't see straight.
Pretty much.
The wyvern flies off.
You almost had it for soup, man. I almost had wyvern soup.
So, you guys now have a choice. You can wait around and see if it comes back, or, continue about your business.
Let's continue looking around.
Yeah, let's scout the area, make sure it doesn't have a nest or anything here, and then hopefully it'll just go away.
Well, it keeps flying back over that bridge. So I'm guessing its nest is somewhere over there.
Yeah, well, you guys, have some time to do some investigating because the wyvern does, in fact, not come back right away. And it does not come back later if you guys, stay there throughout the day. And so if you go and explore, you can roll your survival to try and track the wyvern, although, you're talking about a flying creature, so obviously you just travel in the direction that it went and see if you can find any signs
Yeah,
of anything,
okay. Come on, dice. There we go.
Should I roll too, or can I give
If
him?
you like.
Why did it roll two?
You're still exhausted.
Ah,
And so Logan, as the exhausted Riggs tries to, keep up with you, and you guys are searching around, um, you do find not the nest, but the feeding area where the wyvern flies its food back to. And so there's just bones of like
Oh,
deer and cow and fox and Just like everything that you would expect, and then some that look quite human indeed. The wyvern probably has a cave or airy eerie
Yeah, something
some
up high somewhere.
yeah, somewhere around here, either a cave, tucked into, one of the little areas carved out by all the water running around here, or some eerie, high up on some hill or treetop or something, but you can't quite spot exactly where it beds down, so you don't know where it's hiding right now, but you found the general area of where yeah, you get it. Where the wyvern is, but you can't quite set the ambush because you're not exactly sure where it's sleeping. Um, but you guys now have information to bring back to the group.
Yeah, we'll
And
just kind of kick this bones around. Leave our scents here. Maybe
oh,
leave something.
you pee on his stuff.
Yeah, throw down an old rag.
Is there food there?
Well, there's probably some marrow in some of the bones, and there might be a few scraps of meat since it is a wyvern. It doesn't have the capacity to strip everything like completely clean.
Riggs picks up a bone and starts gnawing on it.
Well, I can't judge. I've been carrying around this stick that I found back in
Mmm,
Water Ran for a while, so you can have your
yummy.
bone.
Bone marrow, it's a delicacy.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a person or a goat bone that you picked up, but I guess at this point it doesn't really matter.
it's all just bone.
It's all red in the middle.
Yeah, and so you guys eventually make your way back to the group with this new information, and that is where we are going to draw to a close for this session of
Yes, sir.
Dragons of Starfall. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.